It's not just about what you say, it's also about how you say it. So, if you're someone who is afraid that you're not coming across as engaging enough, maybe a little bit robotic, and you want to learn new skills for how to really up your game when it comes to how you present your material, then you're going to want to save this video and subscribe to this channel. Because not only am I going to give you 3 things that you can start thinking about today, the next time you approach a presentation, but you're also going to get a wealth of information for how to be a more dynamic speaker. Because being a speaker and being able to speak up, whether it be in meetings, on a podcast, here in social media, or on a stage, it's going to help you not only bring in and generate new clients, but it's going to give you credibility. So let's get this party started. And if we haven't met yet, my name's Meridith. I'm your public speaking go-to, and I am passionate about getting people on more stages using their voices. Today, I'm going to break it down to 3 different exercises that you can start doing today to help you become a better speaker. The first one I'm going to address is getting to know your audience and who in your audience you are specifically speaking to. Because when we try to convince everyone, we convince no one. And this is one of the first lessons I learned from my on-camera commercial coach. I did a lot of commercials back in the day as an actor, and he said to me, his name was Ed Hooks, speak to only one person, because that person needs to feel like you are speaking only to them. That's what drives them to action. So I'm inviting you to do the same thing. I want you to think about your audience and who in your audience is either the decision maker or the person in the room with the least amount of knowledge. And I want you to direct your message to them. Now, it's not about dumbing down the material because the person has the least amount of knowledge. It's about clarity, and clarity is kindness. And there is a difference between being clear and getting into the weeds with all of the features and the details. We want to speak to that one person, and we want to give them just enough information to leave them wanting more. Now, what happens when we direct our content to the person in the room with the least amount of knowledge, which means that we're clear, no jargon, we give them the full sentence, if you will. And it also means that everybody else in the room, no matter where their expertise lies, gets a comprehensive overview of the material, will hopefully learn something new, and also they'll feel good and confident because they're like, I knew that already. Now, you might get a few people in your audience that get bored because they already know the information. That is not your problem. You cannot satisfy everybody. And as long as you remember that, you are golden. Not everybody will resonate with you, your material. It's impossible to make everybody happy, but it is not impossible to offer clarity. So that is the first thing I invite you to do. Get clear. Who are they? They are someone you know already, that person that you're speaking to. It's a client, it's a past client, perhaps it's a colleague, but it's somebody that you know that has a problem. You are there to solve it. The second thing I'm going to invite you to do, and this is a little activity that we're going to go through together, is I want you to take a look at your outline or at your script. And we're going to break it down here. And we're going to figure out what is it that you want your audience to feel in each section of your presentation. So I have a little example here off to my left. This is a mock presentation that you see. And in that first opening, I might make the decision that I want my audience to feel excited. I want them to feel engaged and excited to be here. So I am going to make sure that the choices that I make and how I present my information is going to get them excited. So I am playing an objective here. I'm intentional. So I'm going to bring in that kind of energy and hopefully it's going to be mirrored back and my audience is going to feel that excitement. Now, let's just say in this second part here, I want my audience to feel compassionate. I want them to feel something from their heart. Maybe it's something that it's a story that I'm sharing that is a little more heart centered. Maybe it's about how to help another human being in the world. So I want to bring it down a little bit. And so I'm going to play that objective. I want you to feel compassion. And I'm going to go through the rest of my script and I'm going to do this from section to section to section. So in my third section here, I might invite I want you to feel urgency. So, however I present my material, it's through this sense of urgency. I need you to feel it. Without being a good speaker, you're not going to be able to build that credibility that you need. So, you need to go out and take that first action step, right? So, you kind of get the idea. We go from excitement to compassion to urgency. That way, your audience is on board with you in the conversation and it's giving you some variation in how you approach the material. Now, for the third tip that's going to help you out, you need to practice your presentation, your material, whether that be the questions for the panel or the presentation and keynote that you're giving on that big stage. You need to practice it enough. You need to speak it enough out loud to where it becomes integrated. So it becomes embodied so that you can speak from the heart. It's not about being memorized. It's about really knowing the content so that when those words come out of your mouth, it's almost as if you're saying them again for the first time so that your audience is present with every word that you say because you are. So the only way we can do that, though, and speak from the heart is if we put enough time and effort into the practice. And now, when you practice, I invite you to always practice out loud. I don't want you sitting at your desk in front of the computer screen. I want you standing up in the middle of a room. I want you visualizing that audience in front of you. And then practice out loud. Now, of course, if you're giving a virtual presentation, turn on a Zoom call just with yourself and practice out loud as if you're doing it in real time. There are many different ways that you can practice this. Record yourself so you can play it back. Keep practicing. Always practice out loud until it is fully integrated. And I promise you, you will feel a connection with your audience when you're connected to yourself. So those are the three things that I'm giving you this time to really focus on when it comes to finding more variation in how you present your material. If there's other things that have worked for you, please put it in the comments. If you try one of these exercises and it worked for you, please let me know. I want to know what's working. I want to know that you are growing. That is incredibly important to me. And if you want to set up a one-on-one call with me, I do a complimentary 30-minute call. I'm happy to help you out. So again, please, if you haven't already, subscribe to this channel, send this to a friend, and let's get better at sharing our voices together.